Okay, so our next topic is on parallel lines. So if you don't know parallel lines, they're lines that never touch. Um, and how do I know if lines are parallel? Well, usually they are marked with that little arrow on the line, so I'm going to write it. So it has like an arrow, and the arrows are on these two lines, which means these two lines are parallel. And they're cut by a transversal. So a transversal is it's another line. So our transversal line, it's the line that goes through the two parallel lines. So in this picture, it's gonna be this line right here. That's gonna be your transversal line, okay? So it touches both parallel lines. And when I see that it's touching both parallel lines, I see that a couple groups of angles. So these four angles up here is a group, and then it makes another group of four angles down there. So what we're going to do is sum of the angles in each group. So like one angle from the top group and one angle from the bottom group. You'll be able, there's different names of those pairs. So that's what we're going to talk about. So first of all, we need to know that, let's go with this. So we have the angles that are on the inside in between these two parallel lines. So if I lightly shade this, that space in between the two lines, that is called the interior. Interior, just like interior paint is for the inside of your house. Interior means the inside. Okay. And then, well, if we have an inside, then we must also have an outside. So the outside is not in between the parallel lines. So here's my outside. That's called the exterior. And this is also the exterior. That's the outside, okay? So that's how we describe between the two lines. Is it between, inside, or is it outside, which would be exterior? Okay. And then we also have a way of describing, well, are the angles on the same or different sides of this transversal, this purple line that I highlighted. So alternate, okay, alternate is how we describe if the angles are on different sides of the purple line. So like angle 3 is on the left side of the purple line and angle 6 is on the right side of the purple line. So they would be alternate because they're on different sides. Consecutive would mean that the angles are on the same side of the transversal, so same side of the purple line. So like angle 7 and angle 1, they are on the same side. They're both on the left, so they would be consecutive angles, okay? So we need to choose whether they are on alternate or consecutive, and we also need to choose, are they in the exterior or on the interior? That is how we're going to name these angle pairs. So these are all the different names of the pairs that could possibly happen. So we're going to start with alternate interior. So like I just said on this page, alternate means that they're on different sides, okay? So we're going to write it down here, and we're going to do it in that size font. So alternate interior means they're on different sides of the transversal. Interior means they're on the inside of parallel lines. Okay? So what angles would I possibly be talking about? Well, if they're on different sides but on the inside, so in between these parallel lines, that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. But they need to be on different sides. So if I'm talking about angle 3, okay, so angle 3 is one of the angles. If I want to say, well, what's the alternate interior to angle 3? Alternate's got to be on the other side in the other group. So 3 is in the top group up here, 6 is in the bottom. They are alternate interior angles. And if we know they are alternate interior angles, then the relationship between them is that they are equal to each other. Okay, so I can say that angle 3 and angle 6 are equal to each other. What other pairs do I have? So let's talk about angle 4. There's another pair that involves angle 4. Okay, well, what's alternate interior to angle 4? So it's got to be on a different side of the transversal, and it's got to be on the other group on the inside of the parallel line. So that's going to be number 5. and they are also equal to each other. Okay? Well, if we talked about alternate interior, we know, first of all, this was the interior in there, so it had to be one of those 4 angles that we're talking about. For alternate exterior, that's going to be angles on the outside of the parallel lines. So let's do pink. So the outside of the parallel lines is up here and down here. And alternate means they're still going to be on different sides of the transversal, but they're going to be outside the parallel lines. Okay. So one of them, let's pick angle 1. So angle 1, that's not a pen. Angle 1, here we go, angle 1. Well, what's alternate means it's got to be, this is on the left, so it's got to be on the right side. In the other group on the outside, that's going to be angle 8. And I know that the relationship between alternate exterior angles is that they're equal. So I'm going to put that angle 1 and 8 are equal. Okay, well, what's the other pair of alternate interior angles? Well, we used 1 and 8, so the other pair's got to be angle 2 and then angle 7 down here, and they are also equal. They're on different sides of the transversal, but they're outside of the parallel lines. All right, now we're going to talk about consecutive. So we said that consecutive meant they were on the same side. Ooh, same sides. Side. Okay, so they're on the same side of the transversal, and interior means they're inside the parallel lines. Okay, so let's take a look. So we're on the inside now again, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6 again, but now they're supposed to be on the same side of the transversal. So if we're talking about angle 3, well, what's on the same side but still on the inside of the parallel lines is going to be angle 5. Okay, and what's the relationship between these consecutive interior angles? Is that they're not equal anymore. It's that they're going to add up to 180. Okay, so how would I write that down there? Well, I would put plus equals 180. Okay, so this means angle 3 and angle 5, they add up to 180. Well, what's my other pair of consecutive interior is going to be on the other side of the line, 4 and 6. So I'm going to put angle 4 plus angle 6. They're still consecutive, which means they're still adding up to 180. On the last one over here, consecutive exterior. So what does consecutive mean? Consecutive is the same side again of the transversal. Exterior is outside the parallel lines. Okay, so let's look at our exterior. Exterior we know is up here and down here. So out of those 4, let's start with angle 1. Well, what's on the same side as angle 1 on the outside? That's going to be angle 7. And since they're consecutive, we know that's going to be adding up to 180 again. So I'm going to put plus, and they add up to 180. Okay? And then what's my other consecutive exterior is going to be angle 2, and angle 8 is adding up to 180. Our last pair are corresponding angles. Okay, so corresponding is not one of our like key, it's not like alternate, which we defined, and it's not interior or exterior, which we defined. So corresponding angles. Okay, corresponding angles are going to be on the same side of the transversal, but there's going to be one on the inside and one angle on the outside. Okay, so for all the other angles, they were both inside or both outside, and this one of the angles is on the inside and one of the angles is on the outside. So what's that one going to look like? Well, so if I look at this group up here, let's start with one of the angles. Let's start with angle 1. Great. Corresponding to angle 1 means it's got to be still on this left side. It's got to be an angle from the other group, the bottom group down there. Angle 1 was on the outside, so corresponding to that is going to have to be something on the inside, so that's going to be angle 5. And corresponding angles are going to end up being equal. Okay, if we notice, if you look at this top group of angles and you compare it to the bottom group of angles, corresponding angles are the angles that would be in the same spot. So like if I look at this group up here, angle 1 was in the top left corner of this group. Angle 5 is also the top left corner. They are the ones that would like match up, okay? That's how I know which ones are corresponding. So then to figure out the other corresponding angles, well, let's look at angle 2. Angle 2 was in the top right side of this group of angles. So down here, which angle is in the top right? That's going to be angle 6. And they're equal. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and fill in the other ones. The bottom left corner is angle 3. In the bottom group, the bottom left corner is angle 7. And then 4 and 8 are also corresponding. Okay? So if you need to rewatch the video, definitely make sure you take a screenshot of this, or it's posted in the notes. Make sure you have this handy when you go and try to identify the angle pairs. Otherwise, you can watch the next video.